15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time, and today we have part 5 of Powerful Life Tips, and the episode is called The Power of Showing Up, because that will win you half of the battle. And I like to talk about showing up. We have spoken about it in the past because I think it is one of the key components to success, to happiness, fulfillment, living authentically. We often think that achieving our dreams requires a specific talent, skill, or opportunity. And I agree, those are important. There's one simple yet incredibly powerful habit that often gets overlooked when you are on that journey, and that is just showing up. Whether it is at work, in relationships, or for personal goals, showing up consistently sets the foundation for success. And here's the thing. Showing up isn't just physically being present. It's about being engaged, ready to give your best effort in whatever you do, and open to whatever comes your way. A lot of people hesitate to start something because they're afraid they're not good enough, or they believe that timing isn't right. Others back out because they think the goal is too big, or because failure seems inevitable. But here's the truth. Most of the magic happens when you show up, over and over again. By showing up, you position yourself for growth, for learning, and for unexpected opportunities that wouldn't come your way otherwise. It's about persistence, and let me tell you one thing, as simple as it sounds, showing up is often the hardest yet most effective step. There's so many people that cannot get out there to do it. They can't get up in the mornings, they feel demotivated or maybe even depressed. They don't want to go because they fear failure or judgment. So to show up boldly and being prepared, that's a major step that many people don't get right. And when I look at the coaching, very often the nitty-gritty comes in where people just fail to show up in the right way. And that's why we're talking about that today. What's the deeper meaning here and why showing up matters so much? It is so crucial to understand that showing up is not only about being there. It's about commitment, about integrity. When you show up, you're making a statement to yourself and to others about you and your attitude, that you're willing to engage, to take part, and to face challenges head on. You might not have all the answers, and you may feel unprepared, but the act of showing up is a declaration of your willingness to learn, grow, and try. Most people avoid showing up because they fear failure, they fear judgment, but by not showing up, they also miss out on growth, experiences, and the chance to discover what they are capable of. The fear of not being enough often holds us back. Many people that are coached, that are growing into leadership positions or from leadership into C-suite. But here's the twist. You don't have to be perfect to succeed. You just need to be willing to step up, try, and keep showing up even when things don't go according to plan. When you consistently show up, you create momentum. And over time, this momentum builds habits, resilience, and confidence. The simple act of being present transforms you from a spectator into a participant. And this is where true growth happens. So what can we learn from it? What is the strength that is hidden in consistency? The beauty of showing up lies in its consistency itself. It doesn't demand perfection. It only asks you to try. And by showing up again and again, you prove to yourself that you're committed, that you care, and that you're willing to do what it takes, no matter the outcome. And that will be recognized by people around you because you're demonstrating this as an attitude. It should become a lifestyle. Showing up builds trust in yourself, which leads to confidence, and to trust from others in you and confidence of theirs in you. It also demonstrates to others that you're dependable and serious about your goals. Even in the face of setbacks, showing up consistently teaches you resilience. Every time you show up, you're telling the world that you're not afraid to keep going. In a world where many just give up at the first sign of difficulty, the simple habit of showing up sets you apart. And when you show up, you put yourself in a position to learn. You gain experience with each attempt, and even if you fail, you're better equipped the next time. This continuous exposure leads to growth and mastery over time. And that's why it's so important to keep going at it. Let me give you 5 tips how you can apply the power of showing up in life. Set small, attainable goals. We talk about goal setting all the time. Goal setting is where many people get it wrong, and you'd be surprised it's 8 out of 10. So make a habit of being good at goal setting. When we think of showing up, we often envision massive commitments that feel of overwhelm. Instead, you have to start small. You don't have to throw yourself fully at every scary situation, but start small. Do something that is a bit out of your comfort zone and then grow bigger. That's how you do it. And when you do that, you get opportunities to see for yourself that you can and that it is possible, that you can get past those boundaries, that you can go the extra mile. Those small commitments will compound over time, making the act of showing up feel less intimidating and more manageable. So start small. Don't go completely crazy. Step by step. Be happy and embrace imperfection. Be happy with it. Don't let it become something that is a nagging voice in your head. One of the biggest barriers to showing up is the fear of not being good enough. Release the need for perfection and strive for excellence at whatever you do. Remind yourself that it's okay to be messy, uncertain, or unpolished. What matters is your willingness to be present and engaged. Imperfection is part of the process, and it's through those imperfect moments that you learn the most. And obviously, as you climb the ladder, if it's in work, you need to make sure that the tolerances become smaller and smaller, and your bandwidth of doing it right and showing up more and more, taking leadership, that is what's important. Prepare mentally, number 3. Showing up isn't just about being physically present. It's about being mentally ready too. Before you show up, take a moment to center yourself. Clear your mind of distractions. Set an intention and remind yourself why showing up matters. This mental preparation will help you feel more engaged and motivated. It's an important step. And once you're there, you will recognize how important it is. Whether you're preparing for a talk with your partner, for the next big meeting, make sure that you know what you are doing there, what the outcome could be, what is it that you expect. What is it that other people could expect from you that you might not be prepared for? What questions could be asked from you? What data do you maybe have to bring to the party? It's the same with your partner. What is the talk about? Why do you guys have to have a conversation? Maybe it's about something you said, something that hurt your partner. So be open-minded and to just prepare, breathe and think, I'm going into this with an open mind, with an open heart, and I will act from a compassionate, loving point of view, always considering that my partner is acting with good intention. And that is a completely different attitude. You might find yourself not getting defensive too quickly or having a completely different attitude towards what your partner has to say to you. Try it out. Trust me, it works. It's a surefire recipe for success. Number 4, take ownership of your time. Time management is essential for showing up consistently. Identify the areas of your life where showing up matters most. Whether it's for work, relationships, or personal growth. Then set aside dedicated time to show up for those areas regularly, in the way that you have defined that showing up really matters. What does that mean? Ask yourself those questions. What does showing up mean in the context of what I'm trying to achieve or what is expected from me? When you prioritize your time, you're telling yourself that your goals are worth it. And when you respect others' time in the same regard, you're telling them that it's worth it too and that you respect their time and their effort. And you're more likely to stay committed. Number 5, celebrate every step forward. Recognize and celebrate the act of showing up. Even when the results aren't immediate, it doesn't matter. We don't work for instant gratification. Each time you show up, you're making progress. Whether you can see it or not, Doesn't matter. Celebrate the small victories. The days you showed up when you didn't feel like it. The moments when you kept going despite the odds. When you went to gym although you would have rather had a piece of cake at home. By acknowledging these efforts, you reinforce the habit of showing up and build motivation to keep going, because you can tell yourself, I've done it before. I've overcome that roadblock, that stumbling block, that little voice in my head that tells me don't do it. I don't feel like it. Let's rather have a piece of cake. You know you've done it before, and you can kill off that little monster in your head. And what's the payoff? Well, the payoff is opportunity. It's growth. It's success. Showing up consistently is one of the most underestimated keys to success. When you commit to showing up, opportunities will arise everywhere. Whether it's meeting the right person, gaining a new skill, or catching a lucky break, showing up positions you in the right place at the right time. Beyond opportunities, showing up leads to personal growth. Every time you show up, you're pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, and that's where the magic happens. Learning more about your strength and building resilience. You begin to trust in your ability to navigate challenges because you faced them before. You got the data for it and the evidence. And with each step forward, you develop a deeper sense of confidence. And perhaps the greatest payoff is the long-term success that comes from showing up over time. Success isn't a single event. It's the result of small, consistent efforts compounded over time. And by showing up day after day, you're laying the foundation for a life of fulfillment, achievement, and purpose. And in the end, showing up is more about than just being physically present. It's about commitment, resilience, and the courage to keep going, even when the path ahead is uncertain or uncomfortable. So if you ever unsure of where to start or feel overwhelmed by the enormity of a goal, remember one thing: just show up. It's more than most people do, and it's the first step towards making your dreams reality. Become your true self, living authentically and walking a path of clarity, focus, and commitment to your own integrity, the purpose that you want to find in life, and generally becoming better at this thing called life and business. And that was it. A quick one, guys, for the week ahead. I hope that you are motivated, that you go out there with grit, resilience, with determination, and most importantly, by showing up. And that was it from my side. That is Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on The Success Blueprint, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care.